Welcome to Lions Live 365. I'm your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are talking about the Detroit Lions and how they can actually build a championship defense. This is going to be a little bit more general because I could probably make this a 45-minute video, but for me, there are a lot of things that we need to do. I'm going to show you the wish list. I'm moving in over here. One, we need to run more nickel. We are a team that stays in base entirely too much for me. So we were in base 4-3 defense more than any other team in the NFL compared to the Super Bowl champions, Mike McDonald. They run nickel more than anyone, right? Um, we we have I want to get smaller, more athletic in the front seven. I want to move Aiden around. I also want to try the match zone that works for everybody else but us. And I want a D line rotation. Those are the main things that I want to see the Detroit Lions put into practice. And some of this stuff we need pieces for. Some of this stuff needs to be attacked in free agency. But some of these things that I put on here are things that can be like done. Like just hey, make a decision and just do it. You don't need a whole bunch of people moving around. But one thing that drove me crazy is people left that Super Bowl and were like, "Oh, we need to get Max Crosby. We need to take the $35.6 million that we would offer Max Crosby and go get four people." That's what I want. I want a D line rotation. I want a D line rotation that'll keep the D line fresh. I want it to be between 7 and 10 people. I want 3 to 4 defensive tackles. I want 6 to 8 defensive ends, and I want them moving in heavy rotation. I want guys of all different body types, athleticism, style. That's what we need. It'll help us keep D line fresh. It will decrease injury chance because there are less snaps to go around. It's harder to tire out the defense. So in the case that our offense is struggling, we don't suddenly have this thing where all of a sudden guys can run the ball because our D line is tired out. I want you guys to think how the Seahawks do things, compare it to how the Eagles do things as well, where there's just a rotation of guys that are coming in and out, in and out. Whereas for us, it's like we don't our defensive line snap share is just weird, and it's just not enough people coming in and out of rotation to rush the passer fresh that are actually good enough, right? Like when I talk about the Super Bowl and Mike McDonald, they don't have a top 10 edge rusher, but they probably have four top 40 guys, that might win if they're fresh and and you do a stunt in the game and you give them little advantages, maybe a little blitz, everybody gets a one-on-one. They're not a scrub, but they aren't the great guys. We need guys that will make it happen, right? And that's number one. That's the number one thing that I want. Um, I want to get smaller in the front seven as well, right? So we can choose between these two, right? We can get a smaller edge or smaller, more athletic DBs. And one, it's easier to find those guys. They fall in drafts all the time because they're smaller and they're faster. And the Rams have a bunch of guys that fit in this situation. The smallest edge defender that fell in the draft, or a smaller linebacker that fell in the draft, or a DB that's super frail that they can take advantage of. These are the type of things that we need. We need to get smaller in one of these places. That way, we're just faster, we're more athletic, and it'll help us against the pass. It'll make it easier to replace Anzalone if we don't decide to go with him, and it's just way easier to find talent that are small and fast. Big and fast is hard to find. That's top 10. It's highly paid. Front, small and fast with some athleticism and some dog in them. That's what we need, right? I just want just athleticism. I saw in the Super Bowl just a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed to the ball. That's what I need. All right. Now, some of that is going to have to be player acquisition. Some of this we don't have. Some we have on the roster and we don't use. But at the end of the day, there has to be changes. I need to see this evolution that they keep talking about, right? That's one of the main things. They want to talk evolution. I need to see it. All right. Now because we got the smaller front and because uh we have a D line rotation, this is the next thing I want to talk about. We need Aiden everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I need him. I need him everywhere. I need him not just chasing the best matchup. I don't want him lining up against the right tackle all the time. I want him over the left tackle. I want him over the guards. I want him standing up, double mugged at the center. I want him dropping out. I want pure confusion. I want to use him to draw double teams in areas that people weren't ready for double teams, and I want to blitz off different edges. I want that. Let's cause confusion. Let's challenge the blitz protection. Let's challenge the pass protection. That's what we saw it all Super Bowl long. We saw, hey, well, we're going to get a blitz here, free rushers, a stunt that works. We want all of that. I want him rushing guards. Can you imagine Aiden Hutchinson getting a one-on-one with a guard? Oh, that'd be perfect. And worst come to worst, say we go smaller, because I've said things about the smaller front. What if we go smaller, keep the same defense, and we just move Aiden Hutchinson to that power edge role that we love so much? That way he can rush over the guards, he can rush over the left tackle, he can do all of those things. We may have already solved that problem. I was doing a mock draft recently, and I'm gonna start doing like mock draft and uh scenarios. Would you like this off season type things for people just to see, like, we got time. It's a lot of time before the combine and all those things. I'm gonna do some free agency stuff for y'all too. But with the power, like, I had an opportunity in one of my mock drafts, and I was like, "Is the system broken? Why is David Bailey here at 17?" Because we don't do smaller front seven, I couldn't pick him. It didn't make sense. David Bailey would be a third down only player in this defense. So I can change the defense with the smaller front seven thing that I spoke about earlier. Or how about this? How about we keep the exact same defense the way we run it, and we move Aiden to the power edge position, and we go with the faster guy to go do what Aiden Hutchinson does, right? Just put him where the weakness is. Right tackle, he's going to burn the edge. He's that guy, right? And that was something I really want to do. And if we can move Aiden Hutchinson, make him a moving target, it would be so much harder for people to double him. And I just feel like we aren't creative enough in our defense, man. And I think as far as scheme and just what we do, I think we can do all of these things pretty easily. Like, now, we're going to have to be creative. This isn't something that is easy to do as far as, hey, we need to get a lot of defensive ends. We need to get maybe a big nickel or a big, these type of things. When you're trying to add athleticism, you're trying to add a ton to your team in a short period of time without affecting the culture. Um, and of course, we're not one of those teams that live. We're not located in a place where free agents choose to go all the time. So I think we need to, one, we got to take some chances on the injured guys. People don't want to hear that, but the same people are talking trash about Brad Holmes taking not looking at DeMarcus Lawrence, who has a crazy injury history. Cooper Kupp, who has a crazy injury history at this point. Jalen Phillips, he caught a lot of flack about that. Jalen Phillips had 2 ACLs back to back, right? Joey Bosa has injury history. If we take all the defensive ends that have injury history, that don't fit the size profile, that of course there's gonna be some that don't want to come, it's gonna make it very difficult to acquire the talent that we're looking for. Is make like we have to make concessions because I don't think they're gonna make the culture concession. Like if you have domestics and you're fighting people, or you have bad football character, or you're somebody who's very bad in run defense, or you don't sacrifice for your team, or you have a bad like you're up and down with your motor, you're not gonna be a lion. But if we take out all the other stuff too, we can't be small, we can't be underweight, we can we can't do none of that. Like it's going to be very difficult to make the amount of changes that we need to make without spending an absurd amount of money that we probably couldn't even create. We have to make some concessions. We have to be flexible. And at the end of the day, I believe that we can do it. The first hurdle is going to be free agency. I'm going to be dropping free agency content, free agents that I like, free agents that could show changes and really move the needle for us. We need not only a quality starter, we need quality depth, and I'm really hoping that we address most of our offensive issues in free agency, some of our defensive issues in free agency, and attack a lot of our holes in the draft and make major overhauls to what we do. And whether it is game day, draft day, or any day in between, is Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.